A little more cloud cover around during the day today kept our temperatures not quite as hot as we were over the weekend. Did not hit 90 degrees at Kenner, though came very close at 89. So just a few degrees above average, but also just a few degrees below the record on this date of 92. Our morning lows were not cool at all. 78 was as low as we got at Kenner. So we kind of start off the day warm. That's very typical of the summer, and so we know what's on the way. Just trying to give you a little taste of what is coming. Mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies outside right now, 88 degrees, factoring in dew points in the lower 70s. However, it does feel like 96 degrees right now. And as mentioned, we did have a little bit more passing cloud cover, even some high mid-level clouds, along with the low cumulus clouds, thanks to that southerly flow, which has been persistent over the last several days and will continue into the early part of the day on Wednesday before a front moves through. Temperatures are in the 80s right now, but as said, it is muggy. Dew points upper 60s and lower 70s. Not quite as high as they were just a couple of days ago when they were in the upper 70s, but it does look like we're going to stay in kind of that mid 70 range through much of the day tomorrow and may gradually see kind of an increase before a front moves through on Wednesday morning. At least there is a wind. If nothing else, there is a bit of a breeze outside to maybe make it feel not quite as brutal as what we know is on the way. But looking ahead, we are remaining, need to check my spelling there, hot and humid. Weak cold front moves in on Wednesday. Problem now with that front is it doesn't look like it's getting quite the upper level support that it was looking like from last week. So not as cool and dry as we first thought. I'm only expecting a few showers, so we kind of continue a rather dry pattern. Here's what's going on. Still have the upper ridging that is dominant across the southeast. That is continuing for the next couple of days. Here's kind of the upper level energy that's triggering some storms. These upper features are not going to be diving very far south. Usually this time of the year it's difficult to get them to move very far south. That would have helped to push the front through. If this doesn't really help, or if we don't get a lot of upper level support, this front is not going to do much for us at all. Active weather across parts of the plains moving toward the Midwest tonight and going into tomorrow. Notice North Louisiana has a slight risk of severe storms, even areas just up to our north. Us, however, not even expecting any rainfall, and then that threat continues to shift off toward the East Coast. So that is the front. As far as severe weather goes, not happening here. As far as rain goes, not much. It's going to be fairly active to our north. That's where all the upper energy is. Here comes the front, however. We got the southerly wind keeping the moisture in place. We are only anticipating during the early morning hours of Wednesday a few spotty showers, 20% the way it looks right now at best. Now it does look like we'll wake up with the front already having moved through. So high temperatures, kind of a question mark just how warm we're able to get right behind the front. The big problem is the moisture behind the front, or the drier air, I should say, excuse me, right behind the front doesn't look like it completely clears the coast. Right along the Louisiana coastline, we keep that slightly more humid air around. So it is likely that the North Shore does get a bit drier than even south of the lake. And with us right on the cusp of just how far south that dry air gets, it really is going to be a matter of just how much into the Gulf the front moves. Right now, the model's not calling for a dramatic drop in humidity. At one time, it had dew points dropping into the 50s. That would have been very pleasant. Right now, maybe the best we can get is upper 60s. So at the moment, not looking too promising for a big drop in humidity, maybe a little bit just to kind of help us out. But as far as the heat goes, still upper 80s even behind the front. So around 89 degrees, again, kind of playing around with the numbers depending upon the timing of that front. 88 on Thursday. We stay in the upper 80s to lower 90s as we continue into early next week or through this weekend and early next week.